couple quick announcements. Number one, our latest giveaway is ending very, very soon. Less than 2 weeks left for you to win this 4th Gen Cummins brand new matching Diamond T trailer and the 10 grand that it comes with. Make sure you guys go to wrenchworks.com right after this video. Grab anything off the website. It automatically gets you entered to win the entire setup. You can also get entered to win the entire setup within the giveaway at Atlantic City Truck Meet and Freedom Truck Meet that are coming up this weekend and the weekend after this one. So make sure you guys get entered. Support your boys, support the channel. Let's get this video rolling.
Oh man, she's ready to rip. Are we ready to start our story of UCC Ultimate Callout Challenge 2024? Okay, well, anyway guys, welcome back to another video. We've got Michael here and I are going to kind of run you guys through what you guys are about to watch in this video. Things got a little crazy, a little wild, just like every Ultimate Callout Challenge does. This is our 2nd year competing in it. Last year is honestly a blur. We placed 4th. We worked on the truck all weekend long and we had a blast and we're crazy enough to come back for round 2. We've been working on the truck, or Michael's been working on the truck for pretty much, let's just round up to the entire year, getting it to the point where it is now before we competed with the Motec system. Just total revamp of the entire truck. Previous to Ultimate Callout Challenge, we've made 3,000 horsepower, 3,059 horsepower. I drag raced a bunch. Personal best of 535 with the truck. At 145 miles an hour. Sled pulling we did last year at Ultimate Callout Challenge, so didn't change anything on the setup except for the addition to Motec, but overall feeling really good about how we can do in the event. One thing that I want to kind of like get out there ahead of the video, I guess, so to say. Well, 2 things actually. Number one, we are in uncharted territory with horsepower, with a truck this heavy and basically a heavily modified race car. And anyone that's in motorsports and racing knows that when you're pushing the boundaries, and you run into things and stuff and here and there, it's just kind of inevitable. It's part of the game. It's not actually abnormal. We're not dealing with street vehicles that never have a problem and you're never going to work on them. So things that arise and pop up aren't really, I would say, anybody's fault other than pushing the limits of trying to literally make the most horsepower on a chassis dyno and drag racing a truck, making a lot of power. So lastly, before we kind of get into the story, is obviously we couldn't do it without the help of a lot of people, a lot of companies, our friends, our family, that basically support this craziness that we do. And not only my truck, but Michael's Dragster, which inadvertently kind of debuted 1 year ago on UCC 2023. So we'll get into some of that a little bit too, but the guys at Fleece Performance, Freedom Racing Engines, and really, it's not really just the companies, it's the people behind all of these companies that help us. Like, they're amazing companies, they're amazing products, but everybody that we work with, we deal with our friends, with the companies that they run, and the bigger name companies, it really is the people behind these companies. So every single person underneath the roof of Fleece and Freedom helps and chips in more than will ever be shown on these videos. Travis, Nick, John, like, these guys know who they are. Everyone from the owners of the company to the people who do random stuff and the enginists, like just everybody. So S&S Diesel Motorsports, again, everyone underneath the roof has made this truck what it is and pushed the truck just as far as anyone else that you see on camera. So I just want to make sure that that's super clear and well known. We wouldn't even be close to where we are without them. AMSoil, again, every single fluid in the truck, and again, probably the nicest people that you will deal with and meet. So we want to just make sure we get that out there. Fleece Freedom, S&S, AMSoil, Yukon Gear and Axle, Nitrous Express, and then obviously all the crew that comes and helps us. Dawson behind the camera, obviously none of this would be possible without Michael putting in the time, wrenching on it, and Michael's the brain behind this entire truck, and obviously his own dragster. So just trying to give credit where credit's due. Logan from Logan Built being there with the transmissions. Cody from 1X Precision helping Michael nonstop all year long. Camper Cole, who does anything and everything under the sun, including fixing the toilet hauler every time it comes out.
Anything.
I don't want to forget anybody, but during this video, there's even fellow racers, fellow race teams, tons of people who helped thrash in this video, because it was another weekend full of non-stop working on the truck. So if I forgot you, I'm sorry, but tons of people to thank and credit to give besides who you see on camera. Anyway, I think we're ready to finally start telling the story here. So Friday, we get there, ready to drag race. We've been drag racing the truck. We feel good. We pull it out of the trailer, and we go to do the first spool up, and it's not running the same as it has been all year long. Bust out the laptop, and we start looking over some tuning stuff and changing some stuff. The truck has been apart a few different times, so same general recipe, but again, things change, and you could take the same part out and put the same part in, and even though it's not the same, it could be a little different. So make some changes and go to make our first really drag racing pass, and basically spit sputters and has a big backfire.
Fireballs.
Throws a big flame. That was on the spool up. We didn't actually make the pass, so we back it off the line. We know something's nowhere near right enough to let the truck go down the track like that, because nitrous backfires, fireballs, like that's never a good sign of anything. If it happens on spool up, it's going to get worse going down the track. So we abort the run.
Yeah, the goal of the event is to do the whole event, not just do well in one spot. You got to do all three pieces.
Yep. So we do have backup transmissions. We have a backup engine ready to go. We brought the whole shop with us, but if we can avoid that, then that's the goal. Go back to the tent, which again, DMP awnings, our circus tent served us really well this event, because it was amazing to kind of work underneath that. But start looking at data. And I think the conclusion that we kind of came to was potential high pressure leak in the connector tube or something like that. Something not happy in that general fuel system area. So look at stuff, change a couple like quick-ish things, try to get the truck back up to the line to get it to go down its first successful pass.
Well, this is UCC. That is why come prepared. But it's UCC. If it wasn't, everything would probably go perfectly fine. But it's the Super Bowl. So that's what we're doing. We working. And after we work, then we win. Wasn't gonna give it to us that easy. Some time in that first part, and again, you only have a select amount of passes to get your best pass in. So go to make the second pass, everything goes down pretty smoothly. 552, which again is slower than our fastest pass to date, but by all means for what we're dealing with, what other people are running, very respectable time. Get the truck back, and we're really just kind of looking at data again, and we're continuing to kind of have the truck not running very smoothly. It sounds different, it's popping, it's banging, it's running rough, intermittently on and off, like nothing's consistent, and we basically go down this wild rabbit hole of chasing why the truck is not running very smoothly. We're changing parts left and right, swapping stuff, because really it wasn't like a very clear part failure to the point where we have a clear idea of what's going on. Like usually it's kind of cut and dry, parts break, you replace them. This is kind of like a really heavy diag of like, it's not that the truck doesn't run or runs smooth, like it's not happy for some reason. So, and again, competition vehicle, lots of stuff going on. We're not dealing with normal parts, very custom stuff all across the board. So, and again, we're pushing the limits of parts that are in the truck and power levels that we're trying to be at. Throughout Friday afternoon and night, we go through the gamut of replacing tons of stuff to try and get the truck happy. Really, we take a short little intermission break to go do some burnouts.
It's really sticky out there.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing's been known to stuff too, so
maybe keep her in third.
we might just keep her in third.
Yeah. Definitely turn those on.
Yeah, the fans are on.
Good.
Fans are on, boys.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
fans are on.
Let's give it up for Mr. Greg A.
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not as bad as it felt in there. Felt pretty bad in there.
Well, brother, congrats on your first wall tap.
Wall tap.
We feel like we're making pretty good progress about Friday evening, I would say, and we go to do a spool up test. We have another backfire situation and go to shut the truck off, and the truck starts making a ting, 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 ting.
Familiar turbo noise.
A familiar turbo noise when a wheel contacts a housing. And that's when, after working all day, really Thursday night too, just getting everything set up and ready, everyone's kind of looking at each other like, looks like we're taking the turbos off this thing. The exhaust wheel on the small manifold charger has taken some abuse in a short amount of time, and luckily the stainless diesel guys had taken one of my old manifold chargers, rebuilt that, brought it to the event for us, rebuilt, ready to go. The only thing we're kind of missing is the turbine housing. It needs to be replaced as well, which we didn't have. So we luckily hit up our buddy Justin Ziegler. Ziegler had a spare turbo, so we kind of stole his turbine housing to put that stuff back together. Again, you guys kind of know what the turbo system looks like on this truck. It does not come off in 30 minutes to an hour. It's a fairly intensive job with all the sensors, with the piping, all that stuff. So I think we, at this point, work on the truck until about 5-ish, 6-ish a.m. on, realistically, Saturday morning. Yep. Saturday is the dyno day. So we got one pass in Friday for our drag racing. Our time slip for our points was a 5:52 at 1:35. We ended up closing out the drag racing portion in third. 5 points off second place, 75 points off of first place. Saturday, heavy weather in play. Rain basically almost like throughout the whole day. We're kind of like really uncertain of how the weather is going to affect the dyno running. Obviously, you can't really dyno during the rain. You shouldn't. You're trying to make a lot of horsepower. The roller gets wet. It's not a good situation for tires and getting traction on a dyno. So have our drivers meeting first thing Saturday morning, knowing that we still have a little bit of work to do to make sure the truck is running happy. We just completed the turbo swap overnight. We slept for about 2-ish hours. Go to the drivers meeting. I think we end up pulling 4th or 5th slot on the dyno. So that's fairly early. Not really in our favor.
Oh, you like, yeah, free right here. Get done 5 hits. I'm gonna need this. Oh, thank you. I'm good. Can trade or can't trade?
You can trade if someone wants to trade with you. One or the other.
That's an early number.
10, right?
We'll be. I mean, that'll give us an hour or two.
Pretty short?
Yeah. All right. I'll trade with you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That way you don't have any. I think it's supposed to start.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I'm surprised you doubled down on that money. About to put on the grand finale.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's be safe. Don't hurt nobody.
Fireworks.
Dead silence.
We don't have any input on what happens. The trucks tell us what happens.
Thank you, Michael Brown. Appreciate you. Even though you did lose our $100 bet on the dyno, we had a kind of a side bet for $100. Who's gonna get spanked on the dyno? Michael Brown actually swapped spots with me because he was second to last. So he actually, probably without knowing it, saved us. We go back to the tent after our drivers meeting first thing in the morning to kind of like get the truck warmed up and kind of get after our running rough problem that we still have, really. Cole is checking the oil feed in the drain as the truck is running for the first time after the turbo swap, and I come around the corner and he just has this look on his face, and he said, I don't want to say it, but I think you need to come over here and look at this over here by the turbos. He's like, I don't know if the paint is just a little off right here on this line, right here on the side of the engine block, but I think you should look at it. So I walk over there, and there's basically what I would consider steam really coming from a crack, a hairline crack in the block right by the turbos. So we have a cracked engine block, and it's crazy to say, but throughout the horsepower ranges that we're playing with in this truck, a factory cast block, even though it's heavily modified to make the most horsepower, is a very weak link at the power that we're at. Thankfully, again, Fleece and Freedom coming through. We had been planning to do UCC since last year, and we had basically got with them about having a spare engine ready to go for this specific event just in case, potentially really after the dyno, because we were ready to just lay the smack down on the dyno, and like we wanted to make sure we could sled pull. So we basically make the call to pull the engine back out of the truck. John Benschoof went and grabbed our spare engine from Fleece and Freedom. He pulls in hot, and we're already ripping and tearing, and we're just hoping that the rain kind of pushes everything out far enough with our later time slot that we can even get it done. At the time, we really don't know if we're going to have enough time, but we don't really have another option. multiple guys from Ziggler's crew, Fleece and Freedom guys. There were so many people rushing around in there. Our guys, like, truly like an army swarmed the truck to try to get this thing done. Logan's underneath there pulling the transmission while we're taking the turbo piping back off. Like, so we're pushing through Saturday. I'm getting the chills. I got more goosebumps. We're Saturday afternoon at this point. It's just downpouring rain, which realistically doesn't do anything but help us because we're still running in the order. We have multiple drivers meetings throughout the day of like what's going to happen if it gets rained out. It ends up getting rained out for the rest of Saturday. So that helps us. We get the engine done and in, do a hot retorque on the head, basically get the truck buttoned up, and we still have to swap all the dyno setup on the truck because it's still in drag racing form. So we've got new wheels and tires for the drag racing, for the dyno stuff. We got to put weight in the bed. We got to change tune-up stuff. And we still got to make sure the truck is running flawlessly enough to make sure that we're good to go. So I believe we go into Saturday night.
You got the sled pull stuff ready.
Yep.
Because now we're going to have a dyno and a sled pull in the same day when usually it's one event per day.
Yep.
So
one event per day allows the competitors to kind of use that afternoon, nighttime through the night to like fix their stuff, change their setups. The dyno, like any two events in one day definitely is a challenge just because of the time that it takes to swap from dyno to sled pull or racing to sled pull or anything in between. Like you're kind of transforming a truck 3 times, especially into sled pulling mode. Like you're changing all kinds of stuff: suspension, weight box, wheels and tires. So we get to a point where we're feeling really, really good with the truck. We change the tune-up stuff. We get up there, we warm the tires up in our own fashion. Bit of time at nighttime putting my helmet on, practicing my dyno run procedure in the truck, and I'm feeling extremely well. The last time we dynoed was at Blake's on the Superflow. You guys know, if you've been following along, me and the Superflow have a little bit of a love-hate relationship, and it's definitely no bitch when it comes to dynoing a truck. It's different than dynoing the truck here at my house. At this power level and attempting these big numbers and goals, like you could have the best of everything, which is what we have. We have the best people, the best teams, the best everything, and we are pushing the boundaries of what is capable with these engines and trucks and everything that's in the thing. So get up there to do the dyno pull and get it up, set our RPM. The load comes in, and the truck just kind of wasn't very happy.
straight. It was straight. It was going straight up.
We were heading the right direction. Hey, wasn't for lack of fucking effort.
Hey boys, it was at least. I don't think we could have hit it all. I love you too, buddy.
Wow, what a moment that was.
I'm still gonna try to keep killing you. That's fine. We'll be back.
We'll be back. That's like waiting for flames to come, and then I got out and just turned around. I'm like, oh, there's no tire now.
Me and Cody are okay. I don't give a shit about anything else. Next is if I did my job correctly, and if not, then everything else can be fixed. Realistically, we just kind of unloaded the truck off the trailer for this video, and we're still kind of going through the process of what exactly happens. We have a hole in the side of the passenger side of the block on number 6. So things and stuff, we're definitely not happy somewhere in that run, and it's still a to be determined kind of thing. Sometimes you find out exactly what happens, and sometimes like could have all the sensors in the world and still not exactly know what's going on. So we still need to dive into that. Realistically, we'll figure it out. And we'll be back better than ever the next time the truck rolls out of the shop underneath its own power. So
During the dyno run, we think what happened was
oh yeah,
the engine block hit the tires and then blew the tires out, and that made a show in itself, let alone
nobody understood like what in the world just happened, because like the engine, like you can see the engine smoke, you can see it really wasn't even an explosion. Like there was no fire. Like thankfully, like you guys know that me and fire also have an interesting relationship with all my vehicles. But there was no fire, which is fantastic, because again, biggest fear with fire is wiring and everything else, and fuel, and just like nothing good ever comes of fire.
Yep.
So thankfully, no fire. The explode like.
We just had engine oil everywhere.
Yeah, engine oil everywhere. As far as like failures go, like if it's gonna happen, I'll take what happened, because like kind of best case, like never best case scenario, but like like no massive explosion, no cylinder heads exiting the chat,
Nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt. Everyone was safe. Craziness was both the tires blew almost like simultaneously when the engine blew, and now that we've kind of like got the footage to kind of like slow everything down, like it's funny because we've had multiple theories from multiple people, but shrapnel from the engine actually went back, and that's what 100% confirmed, like took both the tires out almost instantly, to the point where you're just like, how'd they both blow? We thought the engine locked up, we thought the transmission locked up, and like everything kind of like locked up, because in the video, like you just hear this hellacious like tire pop, the drum is still spinning, and it takes a long time for it to get stopped, and it sounds like drivetrain binding and like just all kinds of noises that never end up being super good. So we don't actually think that happened. The tires popped because of engine shrapnel, and I think like I put the truck in neutral like right away, shut everything off, and obviously that drum is so big that it just has inertia. Like it took a minute to like stop that, I think, right? And just kind of like once it stopped, everything just like okay.
I think everybody's just trying.
Nobody knows what's happening.
Yeah, trying to get their head right, and then Cody ran over there and shut it off as soon as he could. So.
Yeah, like normally when you have like an engine failure or a transmission failure, like you get like one engine, like you get one tone out of like what happened. You're like, it's either big bang or like stripping of gears for like transmissions, and like this was just like 4 noises all put together in one, and like you can even see Cody in the video, like he's looking around, he's like, the tires pop? Why the tires pop? Like what is happening?
What's going on?
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. And like honestly, thankfully, like he jumped out of the truck timed perfectly, like because the tire goes flying right where he jumps out of, and that would have just wrecked him. But again, safety, everyone's good, no one got hurt, and that's the most important part of playing with this much craziness. So that kind of like unfortunately ended our
UCC challenge. The truck still made almost 2,600 horsepower with a graph that was climbing to the moon. So it would have been a hell of a pass, but not our time, not our day. And you can work as hard as we do and have the best stuff and have the best people, and not every day is going to be your day. And like, that shouldn't deter you from continuing to chase whatever it is you want to chase. So that kind of ended our day. Michael had been drag racing throughout the event, through the rain delays and all that stuff with the Dragster. Do you want to take us through any of that?
Sure. So Saturday was rained out, which led into rushing around Sunday because they had to be done by like 3 p.m. And then we woke up Sunday morning and it was like misting. So everybody's like, are we racing? Are we not? Well, we were so focused on the truck dynoing that when it stopped misting, I probably should have taken a break and unloaded the car out of the trailer, but it's just hanging out. So the truck did what it did, and then Logan and I got on the golf cart to go get new wheels and tires, and then I realized that they started racing like that second. And usually I have about like 30 minutes to go to be ready, and the car is still in the trailer. I grabbed Cody and we rushed to go unload the car and just get as much stuff as we can like prepared. So they skipped Q3 and we went straight into eliminations. But I was #1 qualifier, so I had a bye. So it kind of like played into my favor of like, you don't have to make a pass, you just need to break the beams. So then after like, after some other trucks had some problems, we just kind of decided that it was probably some signs of, let's just break the beams and let's go back to the pits and get calmed down a little bit from all of the bangs, and then we'll get our heads straight and everything else. And then I went to start the car for E1 just to bump the beams, and all of a sudden I had what turned out to be some dirt in #2 and #5 injector. So it was missing and tractoring and carrying on. Just didn't sound very good, not at all. Somebody asked me if there was still pistons in it. So we get back to the trailer, and then we just start digging, and like, same with Greg, like you got S&S, the Freedom guys, like they are like, I mean, they are on it. Like they're trying to help any way they can, like diagnosing what's going on. And we just kind of deemed it like, it's too much. It's too big of a problem. We need to take it apart, like completely take it apart to figure out what's going on. And we didn't have enough time to do any of that. And then we came up with the idea of just like spooling it up to try and get some heat in it and seeing kind of what happens if it kind of worked its way out, because we still didn't know exactly what was happening. And then I spooled it up for probably 4 or 5 seconds or so, and then all of a sudden it just, like whatever was in there kicked out, and it started running like nice and smooth like it always does. Against Maddie, and
Which was finals, right?
which is the finals. Yep, E2 finals. And then I heard her car like kind of struggling a little bit. I didn't know if it was or not, but then I didn't see her do a burnout, so like it's kind of hard for me to see her on my right side in that situation. And all I knew was I needed to not red light, because I've been trying to tear down the tree as best as I can, like I qualified with a 033 and a 035 light, and I'm just trying to like get as best as I can there. So all I needed to do was just leave. I just needed to leave, just make sure I saw a little bit of a green light, and then that turned into 383 at 203 miles an hour, and I'd say adrenaline kicked in about halfway down the track, and it didn't turn off until about an hour after the pass. Like it was incredible.
Hell yeah!
That'll fucking do it, brother.
That is fucking it. Yeah. Good. Yes.
The last pass of the day for Michael in the finals. Michael already had the quickest. This quickest and fastest thing is now finally over because now we have them both, so I can just say them both. So the ET, basically fastest, the quickest thing on diesel fuel, excuse me again, 387 now reset to 383. So the mile an hour part of the quickest and fastest is you got mile an hour and you've got ET. So 200 is, over 200 is now the new fastest 8th mile world record pass in anything diesel powered, and 383 is the fastest 8th mile pass on anything on diesel fuel. So honestly, massive accomplishment for Michael, and again, all of the people who help him just as much as help me, and there's a few other guys in there that help Michael a ton. The stainless diesel guys, Hammer Tech,
Powder up. You said Cody already, but Cody can't do it without Cody.
Yep.
Like,
so the Dragster is the baddest thing on diesel fuel, like period, along with the Ninja Michael and his hair. That is his seemingly Samson strength over here. So not the weekend that we had planned for my truck, but honestly, our heads still couldn't be held any higher. Everybody works their butts off that competes in UCC, but I would put our crew and our team up against the best of the best anywhere. We gave it our all. We didn't stop working or fighting until we literally ran out of engines or things to lift. Actually time. Yeah, not engines, because I would have put that cracked block back in there and I would have pulled more than 45 feet. But anyway.
we love you, Chris.
We love you, Chris. It's only because he brought it up first in the awards. Anyway, hope your bitch ass comes back next year. So we gave it our all, and we gave it our all. We are going to continue to give it our all. We will be back better than ever. But honestly, a massive, massive weekend for Michael. He deserves it, every second of it. And yeah, I want to talk some more crap, but we'll just leave that there. Still got plenty of steam to go for the Dragster, and he's going to continue to dominate. And we'll get my truck fixed up, and that 3401 is going to fall here by the end of the year. So I think that's pretty much it. Again, like, we couldn't do it without so many people. And thank you again for that. And thank you guys who came out, saw us, and watched the videos and support us. Shameless plug, go make sure you guys get entered in the latest giveaway because racing is expensive. And we love you. And again, if you guys came out, watched us, hung out, got anything there, just appreciate you guys so much. Couldn't do this journey, this wild journey without you guys just as much as everybody else. So I think that's it. We'll keep you guys updated, and we'll get back to making horsepower and making things go fast and avoiding fires and explosions as much as possible.
Horsepower.
Appreciate you.
Agreed. Fucking podcast.
How long was that?
We got 42 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock.
Nice.
I'm only mad because I didn't grab a chair.
Yeah. No kidding.